Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm here with Marina, and we've got a deep topic today called Finish It. Let go of the loop of time. How exciting is that?
Yes, very exciting. It's time to finish it.
Yeah, it is. Because we were just saying that, in the world, there's so much guilt and anxiety with finish it, finish the project, finish the studies, finish the relationship, or finish the raising the children, or finish remodeling the house. But this finish it is like Jesus's finish it. This feels like it's coming from Jesus. Finish it.
Yes, and we got the inspiration from this one movie that is called The Fountain. And in this movie, there is like this tree of life, which represents eternal life. And then there is this character that is called Tom or Thomas, depending on the different centuries that he finds himself in. Because in this movie, we see that it spans many different centuries, but we have this one character that is trying to finish something in the world. He's trying to conquer something or save something. No matter where he's at, his mind keeps searching outside, and then there is this whisper in his mind, like from the spirit, saying, "Finish it, finish
Finish
it."
it.
But then he has to find what does that really mean to finish with the loop of time, like finding the solution where it's actually at, and it's not about saving the world or saving something external, but saving the mind and saving it through peace. So yeah, this is where we got our inspiration, and also what we're gonna go deeper today in this live, but also during the whole weekend, because every weekend we have revivals, and this is gonna be also the theme for this weekend, giving letting go or escaping the maze of time and space. And it's all done through giving, through the present state of mind of the spirit. So yeah, it's gonna be very deep session, and weekend that we will have ahead of us.
Yeah, we might give a little context because this Friday night will be eclipse sessions where we'll be exploring this theme of, finish it, letting go of the loop of time. And of course, some people have followed along on our Movie Watcher's Guide to Enlightenment. They know we have many time loop movies. Of course, Groundhog Day is very famous, but Before I Fall, there's movies like Repeaters. Then we've had movies that are more like time jumping movies, kind of quantum time jumping, which is more like the Butterfly Effect 1 and 2. And then we have very quantum movies like Mr. Nobody that don't seem to have a linear plot at all, but are just showing that it's all in your mind. And it seems like many people know of reincarnation, but it seems like the lifetimes, so to speak, in the body are consecutive. And we come more to quantum and we start to see it's all mind. And it's amazing that it's actually all happening at the same time. It's all compressed into one instant that Jesus calls the unholy instant, but it's all happening simultaneous. And that's something, simultaneous is something that humans can't grasp because they believe they're in the timeline. They're living in time, and they don't understand that it's happening simultaneously, and it's just the mind's beliefs and thoughts and preferences that are being outpictured to it. And whatever they're perceiving is a tiny, 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 tiny sliver of this consecutive, or it's more simultaneous time playing out as if it's consecutive. So then Saturday, you've been working, you and Jason have been editing a series that is kind of like a bit like a Butterfly Effect series. And I know you've had some really huge ahas with that. Maybe you could just share a moment about what that's been like, because it's been going on some editing for a couple weeks to take a whole series of episodes and bring them down to, less than 2 hours with Jesus's course quotes included.
Yeah, it was a very, very profound experience for myself, and also, yeah, with Jason, that we've been going through the editing together. But yeah, it is a series called 11/22/63, and that is the day where Kennedy gets assassinated. But the series is about the premise that if you could go back in time and you could save Kennedy, things would be different, things could be better. So then the whole series is him going back in time and then seeing how much darkness comes upon the mind through trying or attempting to change something in the world. And then after everything comes through, then realizing, like the lesson is like, let everything be exactly as it is. Like all this trying has brought nothing but misery. And yeah, and that's not where the solution lies. And then coming into this peaceful state of mind where, like, oh, I need do nothing. Like actually Jesus is asking for so little of us, like do nothing. Like like yeah, this whole world is, like you were saying just before, like it's an attempt, like it's like an unforgiving thought, like trying to change the world or do something in the world or save someone or something in the world. That is just a thought that hasn't been forgiven. And then it's just this request from Jesus or the Spirit, just finish it or do nothing. Like that, like this is one section of the course has been coming very strong to my mind, and it is, what is forgiveness? And there it says, an unforgiving thought like overturns everything in this world. Like it's very frenetic, it tries to add and change and do. And then Jesus says, like, forgiveness is very still and quiet and looks and waits and judges not. And that was another very powerful lesson, is that throughout that whole movie and editing, realizing that, like, we cannot judge, because in that movie, like, everything starts from the premise, like, that he can't judge, like, that he thinks that he knows what is a good outcome, a bad outcome, and then Kennedy being assassinated is a bad outcome, and then we have to go back in time to try to change it. But then in no circumstance, Jesus says, you can, everything, like everything about the situation, past, present, future, and how it affects everything and everyone. And in many situations, you thought you were right and then realized you were wrong. So you're in no position to judge, because your perspective is very, very narrowed, but that he is able to judge. So we, like, have to come to this realization that we cannot judge, and we have to allow judgment to come through us. And the judgment is that we're innocent, we're not, like, the Son of God is guiltless, and there is nothing we need to do. We just need to follow his instructions and observe the world and let everything be exactly as it is. And everything, absolutely everything, is working together for good. Like only the ego thinks that things are not working together for good, but the Holy Spirit knows that everything is exactly as it needs to be, and that the only real choice is forgiveness in our mind right now. And then there is no cost in the past for a present upset, because that is another trick of the ego, thinking that our upset is in the past. But then if that's the case, there is no solution, because we cannot go, like, back in time. So it must be that if we're not happy, that there is a present cause for that, and it's a grievance in our mind. But we are able to, the happy news is that we are able to release the grievance in our mind right now, and that is forgiveness. And it's like quietly does nothing, it just observes and then just lets go whatever upset is in the mind in the moment. But yeah, that is the very, very good news.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most misinterpreted sections of the course, is I need do nothing section, because there's many seeming ego interpretations of what that means, and it's not referring to the body, but it's referring to the mind, which had identified with the body, not identifying with the body anymore, not identifying as being a doer, just being a being. Like, the third lesson of the Holy Spirit, having and being are the same. What I have is not a body, it's not a name, it's not a house, a family, a bank account. What I have is what I am. And it's like Popeye, the cartoon character, said, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. That's actually what Jesus is teaching us. So the resistance to that is enormous, because that would mean that there's really no time in which for a doer to exist. It's kind of calling us into the holy instant, which is really what the whole I need to do nothing section points to, just making a quiet, still point where your mind can rest. And it's the mind that needs to rest. It's not the body that needs to rest. It's the mind, that the monkey mind that's busy with these riotous sights and sounds and furious thoughts and everything that the ego is, projects it out as a chaotic world and a body that's always trying to fight for survival. So, well, I was just telling you too, we've always talked a lot about the dreamer of the dream, and that's what this is leading to, beholding the world. I think I told you that a while back, because you had been kind of, almost we could say, from the world's idea, you were successful because you poured your heart into everything to make a better world, make things work more efficiently, find the easiest ways, the shortcuts. But ultimately, that reaches a point where it's like, well, wait a minute, is this really the goal? If the goal is inner peace, what does me achieving and accomplishing and being proficient at all these things and have all these skills and abilities, what does that do? That's what I was saying, just behold, like Jesus would start out some of his teachings with his apostles. He would say, behold. That would be the first word, behold. So
Yeah.
so we're just, to me, this is like letting go of the trick of time that Jesus talks about in lesson 158. It's actually taking it literally, that at no single instant does the body exist at all, which is one of those lessons. I think it's maybe chapter 18. That's I need do nothing section. But what we're seeing is we're going to use movie clips today to kind of show this. And yeah, maybe first of all is a we'll say a trailer to give more of a summary, a feel for the movie The Fountain. And that's quite
Yes.
a trailer.
Yes.
So I'll see if I can get it up to a full screen. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to go on to our share screen now and try our fountain.
Perfect. And yeah, while you try to set it up there, so for all of us to watch, I feel like you were saying, like this. I feel like this movie touches a really profound place in my heart, in my mind, because as you were saying, like the main character here tries to find a solution in form, and he's a very good doctor or scientist, and he is trying to save someone that he loves, but he's trying to save the body of her, not coming to the realization that actually love is in the mind and it's present and in the present moment, and he has to come to that place in his own mind. But as you were saying, like in my experience, like I have studied a lot and have all of these abilities, and I was putting all of this effort in trying to make the world a better place, or trying to improve even communication in the world. Like I used to work for a telecommunications company and I used to do the marketing for them, and then had my own company with my ex-partner as well, and it was about efficiency. So I have developed all of this, having a business and how to work with the different parts and make it all flow into one. So there was all these abilities that I have developed, but in an ego framework. And then I started my journey, a spiritual awakening. And then Jesus said, okay, this is where you're at, and I can use all of these abilities, but with another purpose. But the thing is, I wasn't ready to completely look at the world, because there was still a belief in my mind that there is something that I need to do to reach salvation. So the Spirit used my abilities, and there was seemingly a lot of doing in it, but all of it to come to this place of undoing, and then realizing coming to that place where I need do nothing, and that absolutely everything, like the body can move, but from a state of mind of complete peace and surrender. But I feel like, yeah, there has to be a lot of that being done through to come, in my experience, to come to this place like, I actually need do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the ego is very tricky too, because even like when we will see it in this movie as well, because he says like, oh, you think you got it, like that you need do nothing, but look at this. And then he throws in the special relationship, like as the ego's most boasted gift, saying like, you are maybe able to let go of many things, but this you won't be able to let go because it looks so attractive. And then in this movie that we're gonna watch the clip from, The Fountain, that is one of the hurdles that he needs to go through, the belief in the special love relationship, and that the love is informed, and come to the realization that, yeah, love is not informed, that love is in the mind. And then it comes from letting go of the belief that we need to control the form or keep the form or maintain something. And then, just accepting the present moment as it is.
Mm-hmm. So in the movie The Fountain, in the 1500s, it's the Tomas, the Spanish conquistador, who's looking for the Tree of Life to help save Spain. The Queen is asking him to save Spain and to finish, this is his quest, and finish it by finding the Tree of Life, finding the origin of life and save Spain. Then in the early 2000s, more modern day, it's now Izzy, who's happy-go-lucky. She's very playful, joyful, and she's also telling her partner, Tom, who's a doctor, a neuroscientist, finish it. Like, finish the analytical mind, finish the obsession with trying to correct the form. In this case, to find a cure for a disease she has. She's lighthearted, happy-go-lucky, very joyful in the moment. And then in the future, he's a time traveler, and she's really insisting now that he go to the Tree of Life and he finish it. He surrendered to it, surrendered to eternal life, surrendered to the light and let go. And it's kind of fun because I know in spiritual circles, people say, well, whenever you meet anybody, like here Marina and I are talking, and we've, in the past, seemingly our characters have met many different times in many different forms over many different centuries, and now we're doing a live and seemingly in 2026. But this is our future. We've come to the point where we're saying now, finish it, let go of the loop of time. We're sharing that for the whole universe. Like, this is the call of the whole universe, to fall into divine love and finish the belief in causation and form, that there's causes and effects. And as Marina was saying, the most lucrative illusion, or the most boasted gift of the ego, is the special love relationship. Because if God is love and the ego makes up a fake world and fake characters and fake situations, then it's going to have to make up a fake love, because otherwise it would just be too depressing. There has to be something to live for the partner, live for the family, live for the country, something like in Spain. But what we're going to see is these characters are just reenacting our deepest call, which is finish it. That's why we're calling this live, finish it. No longer seek to change the world. Everything is perfect exactly as it is. So just let all things be exactly as they are, and have joy and have love. Don't think that there's something to fix. Because that was our movie recently. We did a revival about Mission Accomplished with Tom Cruise and the whole crew, trying to get the AI, to kill it. And in the end, the message was that, you can't kill the ego. And it's very similar to what we're seeing with Finish It. That's another message, is accept who you really are by seeing you're the dreamer of the dream, accept a new purpose for the dream, and wake up to eternal love and light. So I'll start it here, and we can do some running commentary on it, and pause it whenever you'd like, because this is just the trailer for the fountain.
Yes, sounds good.
A special tree grows hidden. The tree of life. They say whoever drinks of its sap will live forever.
Forever is eternity.
Yes.
Will you deliver Spain from bondage?
There's the queen.
Take this ring. It is a symbol of your pledge to find the elixir of immortality. You shall wear it when you find Eden. And when you return, I shall be your Eve.
And
That's
there's-
easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's Izzy. And Tom, the neuroscientist. There she's going through the disease.
It's been progress at work.
My conquistador always
Still has that
conquering.
memory.
We tested the substance. There's hope.
Your wife needs you.
Death is a disease.
When there's a cure, and I will find it.
So, and then finally, 2500 AD.
He's meditating.
Yeah, he's meditating. There's the ring, going for union.
We're almost there.
Opening
Our
up,
bodies
opening.
are prisons for our souls.
He's going through the memories of the past.
Yeah, yeah.
All flesh decays. Death turns all to ash.
All flesh became
And
death.
thus,
Yeah.
death
Describing the projected world is a projection of the death wish called ego.
Together we will live forever.
Wow, that's great. So that is a good context because it's showing us that the, like Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, everyone must play their part. The bodies are acting out a prearranged program, because when Helen Schuckman was praying on what is this all about, this inner voice telling her, this is a Course in Miracles, please take notes, and repeating it. She did finally get a message, because she was quite anxious. This people are being called from all over to take their part on a prearranged plan. So what Jesus is teaching us is that everything we perceive through the five senses is a prearranged plan. That in lesson 158, the script is written. And he says, when experience will come to end your doubting has been set, for we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we make it once again, reviewing mentally what has gone by. What has gone by? I see only the past. So it's like the trick seems to be that the mind is just reviewing, just like going to a movie theater or watching a movie on TV. The movie has already been filmed and the script is written. And then as you're watching it, you can have the illusion that it's happening now. What Jesus is saying is, no, the body doesn't exist at all in the present moment. At no single instant does the body exist. At no single instant does the world exist. The world is always remembered or anticipated. It's like a veil of illusions that's all the past. But once you see it as the past, you behold it. But when you don't see that it's past, then there's regrets for the past and anxieties and worries for the future. It's still based on this idea that it is still happening. It hasn't all happened. It is still happening. And that's where the body seems to take on a life, because it seems to be present, but it's not. It's a trick, the present in between the past and the future. So that's pretty deep. That's like when we say finish it, that is a very deep finish it. It is not finishing something in the dream world. It's finishing the belief in the ego.
Yes, and that is what the fountain does very beautifully in the movie, because it seems like in the trailer, it seemed like it was linear, because it says in the 1500 there was the conquistador in Spain and trying to save the queen and find the tree of life in the world, and then it goes into 2006 or 2000s where Thomas is with Easy. And then he's trying to save Easy from a disease. And then after that, it seems like he's in 2500 meditating and levitating and hearing finish it. But actually, like in the movie, it's all quantum. It's all happening at the same time. And it's all intertwined, one scene with another scene, like really showing that time is simultaneous. And as we see him meditating in the Babel, he's going through memories. So you're reviewing mentally what has already gone by. So it seems like his mind goes to a memory of the past. And then it seems like he is living through it. Like it seems like he goes, for example, to 2016, and he is living through the memory of the death or the disease of her loved one, and then trying to save love or keep the love by trying to find a solution in medicine to the disease. But every moment of the movie or that timeline, it seems like the spirit is saying, be with me, be present with me. Easy, like representing the spirit, is saying like, come have a walk with me, be with me. And then he's like putting a defense against the present moment love and saying, no, there's something that I need to do to save you. But then Jesus also tells us in the immediacy or imminence, like how immediate it is, the call for salvation. And he says, like, future loss is not your fear. What you really are dreading is present joining. And like a future cause, it has no effects right now. So it must be that if you're upset right now, is that there is a present cause, not a real cause, but like there is a grievance in the mind, but it can be released in the moment. And then that is the journey that he's seemingly having through his mind, to release that grievance in the mind, that pain that thinks that the love is in the form, or that even the body needs saving, because in one of the first timelines when he is in 1500, he seems to be stabbed, but then these memories of the body being stabbed are coming through in the 2500, showing that it's not in time, like the belief in the body and the death of the body are like it's in the mind. And that is what he needs to go through and undo, that the body is valuable for what it can offer, and it has reality on its own, and it needs saving, to realize the mind is the one that needs saving, and it's achieved through peace, and the peace is achieved by forgiveness, by relieving the grievance in our mind. And then easy, like, or the foster of the spirit is like, finish it, find the solution in your mind, because the ego like projects all this world and creates all these different problems, no matter what the problem is. Like Spain needs saving, or the body of Easy needs saving, or like his body needs saving, and then the ego fixes its mind in a loop, trying to fix something in the world and find a solution for a problem in the world. And then the spirit is always pointing back to the mind. The solution is in the mind. And that's where you need to do nothing in the world. You just need to come to a point of peace in your mind and forgiveness. And then if there is an action component, you will be told, but it's going to come through peace. It's not going to come through this frenetic state of mind thinking that there is something wrong, and if I change something in the world, I would be happy, because that is the ego's plan for salvation. And all of these movies pointing us, it's like the movie is like a meditation in itself, and it's pointing us that to the truth that, like, the only true solution is in our mind.
Yeah. Even in the laws of physics, in the laws of thermodynamics, but for every action there's a reaction. Jesus is just saying there is no causation in the world. It's just images. And in the first scenario with the queen saying, can you will you save Spain for me, to the conquistador, to go find the Mayan tree of life, and then and she says, and when you do, I'll be your Eve. That's still a hook. It's like, I got to do the job, find the tree of life, and then come back, save Spain, and then I will be your Eve. Then when we get to the modern day times, it's like Izzy's more freed up from, not so concerned about the disease and not so concerned about the body, but just take a walk in the snow with me, be in the joy with me, be here now, as Ram Dass would say, be here now with me. This is what is the most important thing, not trying to pressure yourself as a scientist, a neuroscientist, to find a cure for a disease that's not really in the body. It's the belief in linear time that's the disease. The body is just a projection in what we call symptoms and disease and everything. That's just a fear of the light is what it really is. It's just level confusion. And then, of course, in the future, when he's up, kneeling in front of the tree of life and ready to just kiss it, but she's there off in the distance, finish it. And he's really upset at her because it's like God saying, finish it, accept the love of God right now. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is within. Finish it. And she's like giving the message. She's now in a future 2500 self. It's all kind of light and the tree of life. It's still the same message that has gone on throughout history. It's the same message right now. It's really the core teaching of A Course in Miracles. So we've got a clip here. Maybe we'll just do some running commentary on it too, because here we have him. He's kind of looking up to the light. And you can see in his face that there's a fear of the light. And I know a lot of people say, why would I be afraid of the light? You won't, unless it's irrational, it's illogical, except if you believe that you'll lose something that's more dear than the light, the body. And you can see the look of fear that comes up. That's the fear of God's love, the fear of abstraction, the fear beyond specifics of eternal love and eternal life. So we'll see if we can play this scene here now. It's like the light of God. He's looking up with fear.
Yeah.
We're here.
All those years were just to make ready for that moment.
We almost made it.
Scared. Let go of the body, personality, self. Let go of the make-believe self.
Stop.
Finish it, she said.
Stop it! What do you want? Leave me alone! Please.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid he's down on his knees now. And you can see the compassion in the future self and the soft hand resting on the forehead, nurturing, saying, just finish it. Finish this idea of a separate self apart from God, of a personality self God did not create. Now it's the Queen, the memory of the Queen in her gown and her headdress.
Will you deliver Spain from bondage?
I don't know how.
You do. You will.
You do, you will.
You do.
It's like,
You will.
would you free your mind from bondage. I don't know how. Yes, you do. You will.
This is like teaching the holy instant. It's like saying this is the answer always, always has been, always will be. To any age, any time, any circumstance.
I'm gonna die, he says, and he's happy. He's gonna let go of the belief that he can die, his body can die.
Together we will live forever.
Together we will live forever with the teardrops. And it's a bubble. That's like showing the bubble of persona. And all the flecks of light surrounding the bubble is more like the reality. So he's going to surrender now into the blazing light.
Yes.
But surrender isn't what the body and the personality think it is or will be.
Because he will have to revisit that memory, and when he made a wrong choice before, now he will have to make the right choice. He's saying, finish it. And he says, okay.
What are you doing here?
Take a walk with me.
I have too much work.
It's the first snow. We always...
They're waiting on me.
Come on, Tommy.
Please, Izzy.
He's saying, I need to do something to save you.
I'll see you tonight,
Do
okay?
something in form to save you instead of come take a walk with me in the snow.
And now he has to choose.
Hey, Dr. Creel.
Is he
Antonio's
going to
not
go to the
ready.
medical model,
Donovan's open and ready.
or he's going to go to the light?
As you can see, she's literally walking out into the light.
And he chooses the light this time around, when he says, I will finish it.
Izzy? Izzy?
Ascending the tree of life. And then off higher and higher. And now he's in the lotus position, just being lifted up, just by his willingness to go there.
Yes, but he has to face more relapsing his mind of believing that he needs to save the body. We will see now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
reaching to the light.
The closer you come to the light, the ego throws in its last desperate fear of the body.
And the belief in sacrifice.
There's the sacrifice idea coming at him.
Yes. You have to sacrifice the body to reach the light.
Yeah, facing that belief. Yeah.
Yes.
Finish.
It's like in the gravestones, R.I.P., rest in peace. And it says, life is not reached through death, it's reached through life, resurrection.
Yes. But he's finding the answer in his mind now. Like you can see, he's transcending the belief.
Yeah, sacrifice and death now is bowing down to the light.
You can see it's all not a real obstacle. But here he will go to the tree of life, thinking that the tree of life will save his body. And then he will see that that is not what the tree of life is about. The tree of life is to give him eternal life, but it's transcending the body. because it says that the tree of life has healing capacities.
Yeah. This is like the 1500s. The conquistador finds the Mayan tree of life. The Maya is illusion. So it's like in the Bible, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the tree of opposites. And there's the nectar.
Yes.
And he's thinking that this nectar will maybe immortalize the body. So he doesn't understand what the purpose is.
Yes. Because I think he has a wound on the body and he's trying to heal his body. But that's not what healing is. But he said yes to it, so he will be shown what his real healing is.
Yeah. So he's first attempting the symptom removal.
Yes.
And then he will be shown, but no.
That is not the purpose.
The body's not real. You can't heal what isn't real, so it's not the purpose. It's in the mind. But he seems like he found what he was looking for.
And
He wants more.
Yes, he wants more. He wants to take.
He wants to
And there you
drink.
go.
Drink of it. Give me the full answer. Give me the full awareness of what healing is.
And he's gonna go into it. But it's not what he thinks.
No. The light is very strong. It's always been about the light, nothing else.
And the symbol of marriage and union.
Yeah. There's the union.
Now and forever.
But it's not in the body. It's gonna like blend with all, like no separation of the body and the images
Unified
around it.
awareness. The
Yes.
body is just part of the projection like everything else. The
Yes.
trees, the plants, the ground, the soil. Healing is the nothingness of the body and the unified perception of the mind. Wow. Well, that's part of it. Now, before we go into the full union, there's our ring and ascension. That kind of relates to what this whole week is. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about mission accomplished. Don't try to kill the ego, fight the ego, change the ego, fix the ego in any way. Don't try to correct the form. And then last week, this past weekend was Quantum Valentine's Day, which was the love that you seek is within. It's not to be found in a partner. It can be reflected in the entire world you see without exception, but it cannot be shrunk down into a body or to obsession with the body. And now this scene with the ring, it's really saying, you want to know union, then I will show you, but it's not what you think it is.
Yes, and it's so powerful too because last weekend we did have that theme of quantum love because on Saturday was Valentine's Day and you show a very powerful, funny movie, but very, very deep to undo the belief in specialness and special love relationship. But also on Sunday we had a levels of mind with Jason and we went also very, very deep and into the mind. And there was a very powerful moment where Jason asked the question, are you willing to let go of the desire or the thought of like trying to have a special love relationship or romantic relationship? And then it's coming to that decision point in the mind saying, yes, I will. Like we're seeing in the movie right now when Izzy is saying, finish it. And he says, yes, I will. But then he has to go through the darkness, like the beliefs in his mind, the belief in sacrifice, that you will lose your own identity, and the belief that you will lose someone that you love, to realize that is not true, that the love is are always present, and that was just a belief that needed to be transcended. And that is because before also we could see, oh, I'm gonna be with her, I'm married, but it's like, no, not quite yet, because you still are holding to these beliefs. And this is what we're doing in this revival weekends. We're coming into the desire of our heart for truth, for God, for light. And then if there is any obstacle in the way, we're saying, lift it up so that I may see through it. And this following weekend, we're going to go very, very deep in our mind, because we're going to be shown, as we're being shown in this clip too, that the script is written, and that we are already, we're only reviewing mentally what has already gone by. And an experience will come that will end our doubting. And here we will see that an experience is coming that will end his doubting. And also in the movie on Saturday, we will see the main character go through all of these reviews and trying to change the past to come to this experience that will end his doubting, the belief that if something in the world changed, I would be happy, or I would be at peace, or I will find love. And then Jesus says, you cannot give your experience away, but you do have a gift that you can give, and it's vision. And so that is what we're coming to seeing through the vision of Christ, because a happy dream will be given us before we're able to transcend the whole dream completely. And here we're gonna see that he's gonna go through memories of Izzy, and we could see that one scene where he's like Izzy saying, come have a walk with me, come have a walk with me. And many times he chose not to. He kept going to the medical model, but this time he chose correctly. He went into the light with her, and then we will see a beautiful scene of them in the snow and playing, and this happy dream, and this acceptance of the present moment love, while still looking at the images. And then after that, and God says, and I will take the final step, I will bring you completely into the light.
Yeah. Beautiful symbol of union. He's got the ring in his finger, but then the light is the union.
He had lost the ring before trying to do the medical model process. He had to take off his ring and lost it, but now he's putting it in.
Interesting too, the tattoo, the black tattoo on the finger, again looking for union in the form. On the body, trying to put something that's permanent. It's not the way. And then the explosion of light. The realization, Christ realization. It's a beautiful symbol, the seed too, because the seed is always that seed of birth and renewal. But the eternal seed, we're looking for that eternal seed that is ever renewing, ever new, the present moment. The scene with the snow and the ice in her grave, but the seed is a symbol of the rebirth within.
He's like letting go and accepting and allowing. I finished it. Before he was trying to cling and stop and try, and then he just allowed, and then I finished it.
Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it just takes such willingness though, because the conditioning, the ego made up the whole cosmos as a distraction to believe that you could be caused by or cause something of and forget God, which is the first cause, the only cause. God is real and Christ is real and Christ is an idea in the mind of God. And then all of history is an attempt, as he says, history would not exist if you didn't keep making the same mistake in the present. And that mistake is just believing in the ego. But there is an alternative. The Holy Spirit and the atonement is the release point from the whole mirage of time and space, from the whole belief. Because it's like once you believe in the ego, that generates time. It just is a repetition of the same mistake, believing you're something you're not. And then whatever scenario you perceive, your only function is to behold it as unreal and false, to see the false as false. And the ego is saying, you have done this thing, now you must correct it in form. You must adjust in form. You must make a better world. And, that's part of the drive of what seems to be self-improvement, small self, personality improvement is make it better. That's like ingrained as part of the programming. The world's been programming to act out. All the characters are programmed to act out small self-improvement, personality improvement. And Jesus is saying, you're the Christ. You were created perfect. Your I am presence remains as it always has. It's untouched. Before Abraham was, I am, and just come back. And it's more like that Lion King, where the father Mustafa says, remember, James Earl Jones' voice, remember. It's like, don't get caught up into the story of believing you left your kingdom behind and went off for Hakuna Matata. That wasn't it. And you have to remember who you really are as God created you. That's the goal. That's the purpose. That's the destiny of self-realization. Remember yourself as the Christ and don't get caught up into all these different things that keep going on.
I'm here.
You're back.
I could hear you though.
We got trying to blank you out. I'm here.
I can hear. I like the lesson today. Like God's voice speaks to me throughout the whole day. I can still hear.
Yeah. Still here. I thought I could just read a passage from the Course and you tell me your thoughts.
Okay, sounds good.
You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has nor ever will. Nothing more fearful than an idle dream has terrified God's Son and made him think that he has lost his innocence, denied his Father, and made war upon himself. There's a quote. What comes to mind?
Well, yeah, what comes to my mind is the movie that we're gonna watch on the weekend on Saturday, because like he believes that he has denied his father, he has denied love. Actually, we're gonna see a main character and he's going through a divorce, and as if he love, he could be separated from love. And then this idea will present himself like, or you could go to the past and change it, and then maybe you will find your function there. But then as he goes into the past to try to save Kennedy, like he gets drawn into this temptation, like, of judging, of first judging whether like saving, like it's the war against himself, of having the judgment in his mind and trying to find a solution there. And then he tries to save Kennedy, but then he gets derailed in so many different ways. For example, he has a friend that he seemingly had a difficult childhood, and then he sees as if his friend is suffering, and then he's like joining in him in false empathy, and then thinking, oh, maybe if I change the past and I change the circumstances, he won't lose his family. But then then going there in his mind and trying to do the change and realize like that is the war, like judging, trying to change, that's a war that he is fighting against himself. But then also he will have to face a different one that Thomas had to face there with Easy, like thinking that there is a death in a body would mean a loss of love. And so therefore, like if he prevents the death, then he would be happy. But that is a way like of continuing with this war of two thought systems. One is saying keep changing the form. If you try to change something different, some circumstances, then you would be at peace. But that is the unforgiving thought. That is the war. And then the spirit is saying, let it all go, let it all be exactly as it is. Forgiveness, like as you let it go, you are forgiving, and then you'll be at peace. And then he comes to that, like we could see in this clip, that he comes to that peace at the end when he lets go. And in the movie, we're going to see too, with the partner that he sees in the past and tries to cling to, he needs to let go. With the friend that he tries to help, he needs to let go. With Kennedy trying to save the whole, he needs to let go. He needs to let it all go. And then coming into this present experience of peace, like the opposite of war is peace. And so yeah, like what's that song? No, John Lennon, I think he said, like, put the big billboard, make peace, not war.
Yeah. So you can't fix, change, alter, adjust, correct the past, because the past is just the past. You can just see it as the past, because I think in the series you and Jason were editing into a movie, he was going through divorce, then he goes back to around 1960, works his way up towards the assassination date in 1963, but then he starts to be attracted to a woman. And so it's interesting, he's gone back to the past to change the past, to make the world a better place. He had a love interest of a marriage that didn't work, and now he goes for a love interest in the past. And that's kind of a strong lesson for how when you seek for love in form, when you try to seek for love in a particular person, in a particular, doesn't matter what time, what situation, that's what plays out over time, what people call reincarnation. It's looking for love in too many faces, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in time and spaces. It rhymes, but it's actually looking where you can't find it, because the world is a projection that was made by the ego to keep one from knowing the true divine love as the Christ in the mind of God. So it's very deep, because everybody's always talking, they'll study the course, but they still are onto the dating apps, or looking to find, like that prayer, that question that Jesus gave through Jason on the last levels of mind. Are you still believing that you need the love of a special person, a specific person, to be happy? And I was pondering that too, because when you look at what all the great mystics and saints have said, empty your mind of everything you think you know. Come to stillness, come to the quiet center. The kingdom of heaven is within. But when we look at anything in terms of a concept, and even partnership and marriage is a concept. It's like Jesus is saying, salvation is escape from concepts. And he says forgiveness is the last concept. That's how you escape, is you start to see the falsity of all the images. They're all equally false. There's no hierarchy of illusions. There's no order of difficulty in miracles. So then if you go all the way to that point, you start to realize that a concept of two persons together in time is an attack thought. And so you start to see that marriage, even, or partnership, is actually disguised as something that will bring you fulfillment and love, but it's actually a projection of a concept in the mind that has to be released. That's very deep. And I think that's why this past weekend when we did our Valentine's Day, Quantum Valentine's Day, it kind of shook things up to the roots, because it's getting down to the ego's most boasted gift and weapon. It's starting to lay bare, wait a minute, this is not something that will bring you love. This is something that is part of the denial and defense against eternal love and eternal life. Very, very deep. I remember years ago when I used to go to the Foundation for A Course in Miracles to spend time with Ken and Gloria Wapnick. And when Ken would do a workshop or a retreat on those sections, chapters 15 to 24, which is all about special love and special hate relationships, my friend who I met up there, Dorothy, who worked in the kitchen, she said they'd have to order like 7 times as much food for the participants whenever Ken would do that particular workshop or retreat, because the resistance to what Jesus is teaching, he's like going for the jugular in those chapters 15 to 24. And she said they would just stuff their faces. They couldn't eat enough because that's just a symbol in the world of addictions. When people look for food and alcohol and drugs and things like this, because they feel this emptiness inside, this hole. And Jesus was saying, come, look, let's look at the hole together to see that it's not real. But just to even look at it it's so accepted as the norm. Even when people talk about unworthiness, they say, I feel unworthy, but they think they're unworthy as a person. We'll get you.
That they're unworthy as a person.
They're unworthy as a person. Ego tried to blot you out again. That's twice. I'm still here.
I'm still here.
But the thing about it is the unworthiness is in the mind. It's like there's an emptiness, there's a hole, there's a sense of lack, there's a sense of incompletion in the mind that is sleeping and dreaming and believes the ego is real. And Jesus is saying, no matter what you do, you can keep adjusting the things on the screen. You can change circumstances, change situations, change partners, change anything you want. All those changes in form are not the solution. You have to forgive. And that's why Jesus said, forgive and you shall be forgiven, and love your neighbor and love God with all your heart, soul, and might. And the 2 commandments, he gave us the Beatitudes. He was pointing to the release is inside. Until you go past the ring of fear in your mind, you won't find the kingdom of heaven within. You're just going to be caught up with all these images that are just projections of the ring of fear in the mind, the ego's ring of fear in consciousness. So it's quite deep. Oh, maybe I'll give you another quote here then. This one is this is from the chapter 29, and it's from section 4, Dream Roles. And he says, the dreams you think you like would hold you back as much as those in which the fear is seen. For every dream is but a dream of fear, no matter what the form it seems to take. The fear is seen within, without, or both. Or it can be disguised in pleasant form. Okay, what do you think of that one?
Well, a scene came to my mind too of the movie, but yeah, I have the 2 scenes come to my mind at the same time. One that is related to the quote that you read before, where he was saying about the war. Because the thing that spans the whole thing into him trying to go to the past is that a friend had gone to the Vietnam War, And then he said if Kennedy hadn't been assassinated, there wouldn't have been a war, as if the war had been outside of himself. But the war was not outside of himself. It was that there is a grievance or an upset in his mind. But he's saying to his friend, go to the past and change it so there is not a war in form. But again, that's not the solution. So he tries to go to the past to prevent the assassination so that there is not a war in form, but the war is still in his mind. But then, as you said, then a love interest comes into his mind. But then there is another character that appears in the movie that is like a angel or a man that says, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be here. But then there is a conversation that they had where this character started saying, I have gone through this. I have seen my daughter die once, and I tried to prevent it, and I tried to fix it. But no matter what I try to do, she still dies. So there is no way of stopping the past. So he was imparting his wisdom to this friend Jake that is the one that went into the past. And then he is so stubborn. He's like, no, this is gonna be different. And then after that, he has this conversation that this angel character goes away, and then he is in this car with the love interest, and then he tries to say to her, oh, maybe we don't have to say Kennedy. So he's let go of that idea. Okay, if I cannot change that, okay, fine, but maybe we could be together.
One more attempt.
And it's what you were just reading, the dreams that you think you will hold you back as those where fear is apparent. Maybe the fear is apparent in trying to stop an assassination because there seems to be a lot of conflict, not only inside of the mind, but what seems to be projected, trying to prevent it and with guns and all these things. And he said, oh, maybe I can let go of that and have a pleasant dream where we are together and we go into the sunset. But then it's trying to make this haven in the storm of guilt. That dream that you think you is gonna hold you back as much as where those fears apparent. So that is trying to find a form that you would think that will save you, but still that is not the solution. You have to let go of all of it, and that is where he needs to go. That's what he's going to show us, how to get to that point of release, that decision in the mind where he goes, I cannot save Kennedy, I cannot save my friend, I cannot save Sadie, the wife, even from dying. I have to let everything be exactly as it is. And then finding that there is a lot of peace and joy in that, that all difficulty, all loss, all misery, all pain was trying to think that he could judge what is a better outcome and trying to change circumstances based on his own judgment. But then coming to the realization, I can't judge, everything is perfect as it is. It brings such peace and love into the heart. And then realizing he had been so arrogant, thinking that he could save someone or make something better, and then realizing there was nothing for me to do except accept the present moment love, and everything turned out exactly as it needed to be. And it was all a trick. He sees that it was all a trick.
Yeah, that's funny because that is reminding me of that part in the course. Time is a trick, a sleight of hand, in which figures come and go as if by magic. And when you were talking, I just now am thinking of all these movies in Movie Watcher's Guide to Enlightenment. There's so many of them that are pointing all at the same thing. Because even the loop movies, the main character finds out they can't really change the loop. They have to change the purpose. Like Groundhog Day, Bill Murray has to, Rita finally, towards the end of all this looping. I don't know, Phil. Maybe there's another way of looking at the world. There it is. I think of Time Traveler's Wife. I got that movie gifted to me years ago, and the main character seems to go back into many different scenes and scenarios, but even to visit his father, he has to watch his mother die in an automobile accident. But he says, I can't change the past. The father says, can't you do something like save save your mother, save my wife. And he's like, I can't change the past. But in that time traveler's wife, then he goes into the future even, and he finds out his future. His wife, played by Rachel McAdams, she's pregnant, and they have a daughter, Alba, and he sees into the future. He cannot control, so he's like thrust into scenes from the past and future, and he seems that he can't change them. He can just watch them. He can just behold them. And then his daughter, Alba, she can control when she time travels. He can't, so it's kind of dangerous for him, showing up naked in all these different scenes. But it's the same lesson that you can't change the past. And it seems like a simple lesson, like I could say the words, you can't change the past, but it's like Jesus is saying the Holy Spirit will repeat this one all-inclusive lesson. Because if you can't change the past, then you just have to see it for what it is and forgive it. And that's the whole point of all of time and space, is given to the Holy Spirit. It's only for forgiveness. It's not for specific outcome. It's not for rearranging the past, because the mind that's asleep doesn't know the difference between a good outcome and a bad outcome. Because in the end, they're all the same. That the good outcomes are the same. They're identical to the bad outcomes. They're images. And there is no judgment, good, bad, right, wrong. So I think that's really the teaching from Jesus. Judge not, lest you be judged. If you judge anything of time and space as being important or real, then you will not escape that judgment. You will think you are yourself unimportant and unreal because you're spirit. And if you identify with the form or the body, you're going to feel unworthy because it's not your true identity. Okay, I'll give you another one then. At no single instant does the body exist at all. It is always remembered the past or anticipated the future, but never experienced just now. Only its past and future make it seem real. Time controls it entirely, for sin is never wholly in the present. In any single instant, the attraction of guilt would be experienced as pain and nothing else, and would be avoided. It has no attraction now. So that's talking about the attraction of guilt. Like, if you are attracted to something in form, a food, a body, a scene, a climate, a culture, a language, a tree, a snail, a flower, it's the attraction to guilt, because God is abstract and the world of specifics were made as temptations to believe that things can exist in and of themselves, and that you can have, as a person, I want that flower, I want that body, I want that house, I want that culture, that I would like this country. Those are all just preferences that are based on the ego. It's a very complex, elaborate trick to try to get the mind to do something more than just see the false as false.
Yeah, it's that getting mechanism of the mind, feeling incomplete and trying to get no matter what that getting is. And even in this, we could see it in the fountain where he's just trying to get the elixir of life and trying to save his body, and then realizing that's not the purpose of healing. Like, the purpose of healing is to let go and to give and extend and be who you are, and in that there is freedom, in that there is joy, and in that there is love, in just giving. Like, that's the purpose of the Holy Spirit gave to this world, that we would give, and that would completely undo it. And that is also what we're going to go into this weekend, and especially that also on Friday we're going to show clips showing that's the theme of this weekend, is how to escape the maze of time through giving. And it's coming into that giving state of mind where we're not trying to get anything, but just give from our heart.
Oh, and this probably is your all-time favorite, how to escape the maze of time through giving. Chapter 18, the passing of the dream. I need do nothing. you still have too much faith in the body as the source of strength. What plans do you make that do not involve its comfort or protection or enjoyment in some way? This makes the body an end and not a means in your interpretation, and this always means you still find sin attractive. No one accepts atonement for himself who still accepts sin as his goal. Then I'll skip down. There is one thing that you have never done. You have not utterly forgotten the body. It has perhaps faded at times from your sight, but it has not yet completely disappeared. You are not asked to let this happen for more than an instant, yet it is in this instant that the miracle of atonement happens. Then, at no single instant does the body exist at all. It is always remembered or anticipated, but never experienced just now. And then finally, one thing we've been referring to is your way will be different, not in purpose, but in means. A holy relationship is a means of saving time. One instant spent together with your brother restores the universe to both of you. You are prepared. Now you need but to remember you need do nothing. It would be far more profitable now merely to concentrate on this than to consider what you should do. When peace comes at last to those who wrestle with temptation and fight against the giving into sin, when the light comes at last into the mind given to contemplation, or when the goal is finally achieved by anyone, it always comes with just one happy realization: I need do nothing. Okay, there you are. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite lines.
Jesus knows that's one you can just sink into.
Yes, yeah, because anytime there is an upset in the mind, like I can see this temptation of trying to fix it, like explain it, but like it's like this frenetic search for the solution, and then like Jesus is always whispering, like especially because this path is like a holy relationship will be given you as a means to save time. And yeah, all of relationships are mirrors to our mind, and it seems like a lot of things get triggered in our mind when there is still darkness in it. And so when it comes up, I can see this frenetic movement in the mind of trying to find a solution to that state of mind by trying to change, arrange, organize it, just to find peace where it cannot be found, by trying to things would be better like if they would change, or I would be happy if things would be different, or maybe there is something that I need to do. But if I act from that state of mind, then it's a trick that the ego has me in this loop of trying to prevent the past or change the past. Like this man that was saying, my girl died, and I tried to do all different configurations, but she keeps dying. Yeah, if you follow that train of thought, you're gonna keep dying, because the ego is death. And so, and then just it's like, you need to do nothing. Just stop. Like that would be much more profitable to realize. Like you just need to be still.
That's it. It's so fun. I just woke up on Monday morning, and I opened up to see my messages, and you know, my friend Dale Crow, who served almost 20 years in prison for murder. He got into the course and some of my teachings and books in there. Now he's out. He's married, but he sent me a message on Monday morning. I've been studying a lot on the present memory. That's the section in the course, David. Yes, however, things are still a little hectic at home. Now he's talking about hectic at the household. But this whole cause and effect thing truly clicked a few days back. Today, more importantly, it's really difficult for people in my world to grasp that nothing ever happened, and that each day our motives are causeless. He's talking about personal motives, that all personal motives of the human being are causeless. What does that mean? They're all generated by the ego, and the ego is not a real cause. It came and went, we'll say, because the Holy Spirit corrected it. So it's not a present cause. God is a present cause, an eternal cause. And that's why we're rejoicing. But he goes, it's right, difficult for the people in my world to grasp that nothing ever happened, and that each day our motives are causeless. It's tough to grasp, let alone explain. Yeah, we can't explain it. We can just behold it for sure, but we can't explain it. That is the 0 point energy field. That is you. It's always been you, only you, exclamation. And then he's talking about his relationship and form. It's not that I'm arguing that she's upset with me. I see no reason to argue, explanation. That one last line at the end says a lot. I see no reason to argue, because anytime we believe there's a reason for an argument, we're trying to be right about something in the world rather than be happy eternally. And that means that every seeming argument, every fight, every disagreement, every conflict is literally from a false cause. It's a cause that's already over. It's been answered by the Holy Spirit and Jesus. And I love it how Christians often say Jesus saves. I'm saved through Jesus. And it's like, yeah, really, it's the truth. But it's saved through the Christ idea, the Christ mind, the pure eternal love of the present moment. I'm saved by the present because I'm freed of the past. I'm freed of all belief in past sins, past guilt, past mistakes. So this is huge. This weekend, we're really exploring, literally, finish it. We're saying to the mind that believes in the ego is finish it. Not try to finish something in form, because form is the great distraction to finish it. Accept the atonement in the mind. That's so deep.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very deep. So yeah, we're gonna have all types of sessions to come into that acceptance in the mind. We're gonna have Friday sessions with clips. We're gonna have a very deep Saturday movie workshop. We grabbed the whole series of 8 episodes and condensed it into one mini movie with quotes from Jesus, and they're going to have very deep commentaries from you, David. And then on Sunday, we're going to have another levels of mind and profound Q&As. And even Jason tomorrow is going to be talking a little bit about it live with Jeffrey too. And Jeffrey also is going to share on Sunday, but maybe a little bit tomorrow, about the prison ministry. Like you were just sharing about Dale and how he used to be in prison. And then he had that backdrop to work in his mind to find his innocence. But then he goes out of the prison, and then and then he has to deal with a household and about a relationship. And he's like, man, this is tough.
Right. Solitary confinement in prison was one thing, but now, wow. This is a whole new gear.
Yes, but then this beautiful way he says, like, I don't need to argue or interact with it in the same level like the problem is resolved from another level, like another state of mind.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Well, I don't know if you saw it this morning, but our friend Raphael put another Suno song on, and oh my gosh, change your mind, change your life. It's something I talked about on a call we had recently, but maybe I could just play a little bit of that. I mean, I think it goes on into, it's trilingual, but maybe I could play a little bit of it in English because it's something. If you just listen to the lyrics, change your mind, change your life. It's actually very profound. And we're going to be heading off to a community party brunch coming up here very shortly, but maybe we'll close with just a little bit from Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. Perfect. I have to make sure that I'm not on airplane mode because I didn't want us to get interrupted, but that's what I'm seeing is how we really, that's the gateway. That's the answer to everything. Change your mind. Jesus is saying, change your mind about your mind. He's not asking us to hold on to anything that we've believed. And I was talking, I think recently, maybe on the same talk, where I said, when we talk about lesson 23 in the workbook, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. He's not talking a few thoughts that we have. He's talking about, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. All attack thoughts in history. All attack thoughts in history.
Yes,
That's
will
all.
not forgive.
It's just very simple. Just give up every attack thought ever, because God doesn't create attack, but it's like it puts it in a much more kind of vast mind cosmic state, not just like, oh, I have grievance against my mother or something like this. It's like that. So let's just see if this comes on here for it.
Change your mind, change your life, change your life, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind, change your life, change your mind, change your life, change your life, change your mind, change your life. You thought you found a perfect form,
Perfect form.
two hearts in a perfect storm. But underneath the dream you made, there's something deeper calling you home.
You say you want the whole and true, another soul completing you.
So many.
But heaven's not in what you see, it's in the mind that's finally free.
If the purpose is forgiveness, you will find what you need. If the purpose is awakening, every form will conceive. Change your mind, change your life. Let the illusion fade tonight. When our bodies in a play, we are light that cannot die. Change your mind, change your life. That's for heaven, not for less. You don't need another story. You just need your holiness.
You don't need another story. You just need your holiness.
That's it.
Wow, this has been a lot of fun, and it's very deep. So really what this is just hope you enjoyed it, everyone. We had so much fun with it, and yeah, and if you want, you can go to the description, and we have a link to register for free. We do these online weekend revivals every week. We started out here in February. We're going all the way through the end of March. So there's lots more weeks coming. We generally have panels, music, some meditations, journal writing. We have all kinds of Q&As, so you can be interacting and ask your questions or share what your issues are. That's what the levels of mind really are. And tomorrow, as Marina was saying, Jeffrey and Jason will come on at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to watch it, I'm sure we'll have it on some Facebook channels. But if you go to the Living Miracles YouTube channel, that's where you can watch it. And if you just go there and you want to sign up and subscribe to the channel, then when it goes live, you'll just get a little message that says Living Miracles has gone live. We're on Living Miracles channel right now, as well as Spiri, AI, and a lot of Facebook pages and groups. So, wow, what a beautiful time.
Yes, so thank you so much, David. It's been a joy to do this with you here, and also it's gonna be a joy to join with everyone this weekend. And we're gonna go very, very deep into the mind, and we're gonna go and experience too the joy of that release. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. And
Beautiful.
thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you, everyone.